Hey everyone, welcome to our recap of the last day, Sunday, of Anime North 2015. Unfortunately, Z cannot be here with us for this final day, so we will try to make up for his absence.
Well, I mean, he was at the con, he's just not able to record with us today.
Luckily, I followed him around for most of the day, so as opposed to speaking about shared experiences with G&T today, I can hopefully fill some of the gaping void that is Z's absence.
Goat did his detective work today, so he's as prepared as he's ever going to be for this particular recap.
So, do we want to start off with the things that we actually did today?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay. I only went to one panel today.
Perfect.
And we're going to talk about that, I think, in a couple minutes. So, whether you guys want to start? I think you guys went to a couple more than I did.
Do you remember what you went to?
It's
been a long day.
It has been a long. I think everybody's worn out at this point. We're getting a little bit close to the bone. So, we'll see how this goes. But we all started out with the initial intent of going to a panel on RPGs you should play, I believe.
Yep.
Now, G&T, you guys decided that due to the sheer capacity of the room, it was absolutely packed. It was a small room, maybe a little bit missized for the interest in the panel. You guys ducked out, I believe.
Yeah, it was weird considering the amount of panels that were in large rooms that didn't quite get filled, and then we showed up about 15 minutes early to this RPG panel, and it was absolutely packed already. So we decided we didn't kind of want to stand around at the back, and then went off to the dealer's room. But how was the panel?
How the panel went? It was as advertised. It was basically a list of underrated games that needed playing. So they made a point of specifically stating we're not talking about the Final Fantasy VIIs and the Chrono Triggers. They wanted stuff that maybe just never made the headlines, so to speak. That didn't really get that kind of emphasis. A lot of games, mostly in the SNES era, went through. And having said that, they did break it down. They skipped mostly NES on the pretense that the genre wasn't very well.
There was not a lot happening on the NES at that time.
I mean, there was there was Final Fantasy, and there was what was it, Dragon Knight? I think it was
Dragon Warrior.
Was it Dragon
Warrior?
Yeah, that was pretty much it, right? So they started at SNES and kind of moved out from there, era by era. It wasn't terribly informative or detailed. It really was just kind of a laundry list.
Like just going down the list of...
Yeah. And at a certain point, it opened up so much to the audience that it was pretty much just the audience
just
suggesting things to them. So that there wasn't... I don't know. Like, Z sat there and just kept a list of everything he hadn't played, as he's wont to do. So for that purpose, if you were literally looking to walk out with a shopping list...
You could
go.
See it.
But
I mean, that's what the title of it was. It was RPGs you should play.
It's exactly what was advertised. It's just there wasn't a lot of detail. They didn't go into depth on any of the combat systems or anything. You're just hearing people's opinions yelled across the room. So,
Out of curiosity, because I was waiting for this in the panel and we never ended up going to the panel, did Z or somebody else mention Skies of Arcadia?
What?
Me and Z were propped up sitting on a table at the very back of the room, and of course it's like the guy at the front is like, okay, I'm not sure if I should bring this up, but has anybody played Skies of Arcadia?
I assume Z.
Like, yeah! Like everybody, there's like probably about 25% of the people in attendance were like, yeah. And it's just one of those games. Like I played Skies of Arcadia, and I've enjoyed it. But the fervor for that was actually quite entertaining.
It was a Dreamcast game that after Dreamcast went down, they released on GameCube as Skies of Arcadia Legends, and I remember having lots of good times playing with these fellows. So I assume that it would have come up by hook or crook.
Actually, Z was very, very heavily participant in. Like he was throwing a lot of games out there. They were asking him questions. He was asking them questions. He was very. He might as well have been on the panel.
Well, I mean, like, Z has played it, like, when he talks about playing games on the Super Nintendo, what he really talks about is getting ROMs for the Super Nintendo that were all RPGs and trying to basically play every RPG for the SNES. I'm sure not all of them, but when you talk with him about it, you understand that when he's talking about playing Super Nintendo games, it's a lot of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I didn't end up going to as many panels as I planned on going to today. I was going to go to a panel on Artist Alley. Not that I am a particularly crafty person, but I thought it'd be neat to see
What the process is?
Yeah, and to hear what some tips people had about Artist Alley, because there were supposed to be professionals there who had done it before, and they could tell you lots of things about it. Probably similar stuff to how you might start a panel, except not a panel going to Artist Alley. What I did end up going to was a panel on how to it was on social media, something to do with how to promote yourself as a cosplayer. And I went in again trying to take the outside track and learn more about promotional stuff, because I don't know, we're doing this video thing and we're doing a podcast,
trying to get people hyped for it. We need every little tidbit that we can get.
Yeah, I mean, and you can always. I'm sure if they talked about that, then there would have had lots of general information that could be applied across multiple areas. It got off to a good start, but it wasn't heading in the direction I was expecting. So I kind of bailed on that panel early to participate in the last panel of the day, which was of course the Lazy Fan's Guide to Getting Started with
our own T and Z
and Soph
and
Sarah, who we'd never met before. Do we want to talk about that, or do we want to?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, it was a good panel.
I thought best panel I went to all weekend.
No,
but
serious?
I'm serious that it was the best panel I went to all weekend. It was some of the stuff we talked about before, just chatting, right? But I thought it moved. You kind of were unofficial moderator.
No, I was the official moderator.
I was going to say, very well moderated.
Yeah. You kept things moving. You knew, when things could expand a little more. People were asking questions, not a lot, but like a little bit like throughout, which kind of kept the discussion rolling in a good way. And it was, I think, a lot of people left with good advice on how to get started if it seems daunting to you. I saw a couple people came up.
Yeah, a couple people did come up. That was actually really good. I don't know what regular panel attendance is like. We had like 21 people at a high and 70 people at a low, so that was pretty good. I'd never done a panel before, but there's no point in going into a panel and being like, I've never done a panel before.
You have to do a first one at some point.
Well, and it's like, why would I listen to you? You don't know anything. It's like, well, no, here's the things that we've done, and we all talked about that. And I mean, I'm sure on the podcast we'll probably dig into basically something very similar to that, so I won't elaborate on it too much, but we talked about things like motivation and keeping progress and like tracking progress, and the problem of being a lazy person, like, I don't know, some people who wanted to start a podcast and then to do it. And so it was just about trying to help those people out, and yeah, it was a really positive experience. I want to do it again next year. I've realized this year about Anime North that if I want to get more out of Anime North,
you have to.
I can't just keep going to panels. I need to start making the panels that I want to happen, even if I don't know what it is involved, and just making them happen.
I gotta be on the panel next year because I was sitting there in the front because I'm now used to having a lively discussion with you guys. So like half the time I was like, I want to say something, but I didn't want to be that guy in the front putting his hand up all the time. So next year I'm in for sure.
Yeah. Missed opportunity, even though we've been tweeting about it and mentioning it in our YouTube clips that we were going to do this panel. We got to the end of the panel, and I definitely mentioned in the panel that I was doing a podcast with me and G and C, and then totally forgot to actually mention, hey, check out our podcast. That blah, 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 blah.
Thank you to everyone who came. If you're watching this,
we did
please check out our podcast, the Nickscast.
Yeah, it's soundcloud.com/the Nickscast and a whole bunch of other things. If you Google the Nickscast, you will find us. But start there and you will be fine. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, then there should be links to all of our various social media things.
Over here?
In the description somewhere.
Somewhere.
Probably
okay.
down. Who knows?
We're new to this.
Not experts.
We're not experts.
There was one other panel that Z and I made it to.
Oh, which one did you go to?
We went to
Let's Play, right?
Let's Play.
Oh, I was
Which
really
is very
excited
germane
about that.
to what you do.
Yeah, I went realizing that while I don't post to YouTube, I do technically do Let's Plays after a fashion, and with the streaming. And I was thinking, well, there is enough in common that I stand to be able to learn something here. And Z himself had particularly said before starting, he was hoping to hear something about capture cards, which speaks to me, particularly because we are looking right now at capture cards and potential, but we'll leave that unsaid for now.
Secrets.
If you watch my stream, you'll know what I'm talking about already, because I can't shut up about it. I'm too excited about it. Having said that, that was actually one of the better panels this weekend. I was surprised. I came out of it with more than I thought I would. Those two guys, they ran it beautifully. It wasn't coming too much from the audience, like a lot of the panels we've seen this weekend.
Very driven by the panelists.
Yeah, there were questions, and they answered the questions. They didn't blow people off, but at the same time, they weren't really leaving room for someone to just kind of keep going and going and going.
They wanted to keep moving.
Yeah. They touched on just about every relevant point they could, and absolutely they went on. There was a question about capture cards, and they did a thorough detail, bottom to top, of your lower end capture cards and the advantages, and right up to the upper ends. They talked about the various inputs available, what's available low end, what's available high end, as well as workarounds, right up to including directly filming your screen. They made a fascinating point. They have there are guys they work with on affiliated channels who do direct capture on their GBAs, and they allege that you would not know the difference. They've been doing it for so long. They've got the lighting down. Guys that they had assumed were on capture cards until they were told otherwise.
Okay.
So,
but it's probably not as easy, right?
The methodology is out there, I suppose. There's some way of doing this, but I would never try it personally. I'm not a fan of the whole idea of capturing the screen directly. Anybody who's ever spent any time on YouTube has seen a bad example of that. So,
I want to say that almost right after we recorded a recap last night, Goat and I went to another anime viewing.
Oh my goodness.
Crash course.
We came in to observe basically just the final episode of Kill la Kill. To those who haven't seen it, nothing I can say will do it justice.
You didn't intend to go in.
No, we thought, I assumed because, it was just a block of them showing it, that they'd showed the first few episodes to get people into it. But it turned out to be the last 4 episodes. So when we went in, we didn't really know until the title of episode 24 came up. We were like, oh, but we weren't just going to turn around. We wanted to see what this thing was all about, and that just happened to be the grand finale.
Yeah, we caught the very end of 23, the last 10 minutes, maybe. No, not even 5 minutes. Yeah. And it was just in the midst of action. It was like, what the hell is going on here? And I can distinctly remember thinking I heard something about clothes, and I was like, oh, I must have misheard that. And then they started,
you didn't?
Yeah, did not. Thread closed the whole talk, and I was like, okay, this is about magical clothes. What was their thing? Clothes are clothes, people are people.
Yeah.
Very descriptive. I'd already seen Kill la Kill, so I was just excited that you guys wanted to go see it, because Z had recommended that I watch it, and so he's kind of been spreading it around.
Yeah.
But I was really excited to hear what you guys thought of it, and I mean, it's unfortunate that you caught the end, but
it, in a way, it didn't actually spoil anything because we have no context for it. My interest is definitely peaked now. I'm gonna go back. It's the whole thing. It's parodical, but not. It's right on the edge of being just an out comedy, but it's not. It's got too much purpose. I can't describe it. Maybe we'll talk about it on the podcast once I've gotten through the series.
I would really like to do that, and I know that Z would love to do it. Talk about
okay, so Kill la Kill episode coming soon on the Nickscast.
That's I wasn't consulted about this.
It's been said. It's too late.
Yeah.
And of course, we're apparently we're not editing these things out anymore. So
So,
it goes out.
That's why I said coming soon and not say a date.
Yeah. Whammy whammy wazzle.
Exactly.
Wait. Wubba lubba dub dub.
And
And we all spent a significant amount of time in the dealer's room, I think, today.
yes.
And today, maybe I was just in at different times previously. But this seemed like the busiest day to me. Everyone's trying to get
Inside?
those deals, and you're swimming through people.
Things did not shut down the way they usually do in previous years. The dealer's room was, as you say, still in full swing in the afternoon. Usually by 1 or 2 o'clock, you start to see signs of things closing down. And I can certainly say that once we got out of your panel, T, we were making our way across the main intersection there, which is absolute hell right through Saturday. But for a Sunday, I was surprised how many people were still out and about, and again, most of them still in dress, full dress. Yeah. Usually, the crowds are noticeably thinned by the early evening on a Sunday. But
shout out to the Lord Zed costume from Power Rangers that I saw while enjoying my ice cap on the grass. That was not something that I was prepared to see, but it was a perfect costume.
Shout out to Sarah. I wish I knew your Twitter handle or cosplay name so we could congratulate you on doing such a good job with us at the panel.
So we can get in touch after.
Yeah,
she's involved.
I'll try to put stuff down below.
She did do a fabulous job.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I do know that she did work on cosplaytutorials.com. I don't know the spelling of that, so I'll just get all the details.
While we're talking to Sarah, if you are watching this, I apologize profusely for falling asleep in the front row like 20 times. I've been nodding off in every single panel I attended all weekend.
He's consistent.
Oh yes, and that's symptomatic of the complete lack of sleep I got from Thursday night on. I have no doubts that I'm going to pay for it tonight, but I still have hours of driving ahead, so that's something else.
Anything else?
We got your MVP, I guess, for cosplay apparently, or was there another one?
Lord Zed.
Lord Zed.
Lord Zed was pretty much the top of my list.
Yeah. I was having some trouble picking out new ones today, admittedly. The one that has stuck in my head, and technically speaking, I saw it yesterday, and this may be in itself an indication of just how badly I was scarred by my own 24-hour stream, was the Golden Bonnie the Bunny from
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's. It was an excellent Bonnie cosplay. Just down.
Did you get the chills?
My butthole puckered.
Any similar stories for UT? Did you see?
There was zero puckering
that affected you in that way.
No, I mean I think I'm at this point where I'm almost cosplay blind.
You're just
You
like,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
some people.
No, like I mean, there's definitely some very awesome cosplay at Anime North, and I'm sure at any convention. But you get to the point when you're running around and you're worrying about this and you're worrying about that you don't even see cosplayers.
There was the Totoro-sized Pikachu in the full.
Okay,
in the full
sorry.
blown
Yes,
suit.
yes. So there was someone who had like a full size, like probably 6 foot tall Pikachu costume. Very limited mobility. Looked like it was made out of foam.
But was
impressive.
out there doing his or her thing.
Yeah.
In the big. It looked fantastic.
It did, and it's like I would want to go up and give him a big hug, and you could do that. Well, I mean, I don't know if they would actually allow you to do that, but it looked like you could.
It looked like an expensive little piece there.
Much kudos because it was definitely the hottest day of the 3. I think.
Oh, like 27 degrees or more, plus humidity. I can't even believe that. There always are some very dedicated people who not only put time and money into their cosplay, but the sheer commitment.
They're literally sweating it out.
And when you're weaving between such tight crowds, you're half blind, you're crossing streets in busy traffic.
Everybody's trying to take pictures.
Yeah. I've done it half blind in a morph suit, and that's bad enough.
Oh, just wanted to touch on this. Don't want to dig into too much. We were talking about trends the other night. Another trend this year was definitely seeing a bunch of Ruby costumes. Ruby spelled RWBY.
The big scythe. You see those?
Yeah.
They were everywhere. I had no idea who the character was. I actually had to ask, and I've knocked over a little panda fence.
That's
here.
okay.
I had to ask and be filled in, but I saw it right away from Friday on. It became very apparent right away. It's like I'm seeing this same scythe everywhere in some iteration or another.
Yeah, it's all available online, so if you wanted to watch it, for all I know, they've come out with the next season, or they've started releasing the next season. I haven't been watching it in a while because they'd wrapped up a season, but it's a pretty good. It's like a 3D animated show done by the guys who do the guys at Rooster Teeth. It's 3D animated anime style with the same tropes. Kind of weird, given that it's in 3D. Very interesting, not terribly long. Definitely should check it out.
Yeah,
I might give it some
but
time.
good things.
Right now, I'm having my goal for the weekend was met in Kill a Kill and Howl. Those are the two things that I'm going back to pick up.
Kill a Kill, as we said, definitely piqued my interest. The other one that I'm interested in checking out is a certain scientific railgun because it is called that. I don't know anything about it.
Apparently there's a lot of it, right? It looked like there was a certain scientific railgun 2, a certain scientific railgun S.
Yeah, so if it's good, there's lots of it, which is great. But I'm back my old picking things just based on the title alone.
That's fine. Like, there's so much anime.
Because you find good stuff that way, you can find stuff anyway.
Just because you could find bad stuff, but you might enjoy the bad stuff, and then you enjoyed it. That's the part that matters.
Yeah.
I got a shelf full of stuff that's not great. I've got good stuff, but there's also bad stuff in there. But I still love the crap out of it.
All right. So, quick question, just to pull out of my sleeve here. I think every year we say we're going to make so many things. We have our goals, and every year
for next year, you mean?
Every year we miss them. My question is.
Yep.
Of what you did, putting aside what you did get done this weekend, do you have any regrets? Was there something you missed you would like to have made? Was there something you maybe wasted your time on? What are the regrets for the weekend?
I would have really liked to have seen the wrestling. I didn't recognize any of the wrestlers in the program, but live wrestling I think is so much fun, and I'm kind of sad that I got to miss it because you can sit right in the front row and you're so close, and it's all just part of the Anime North thing. So next year I'm going to make a bigger effort to go and see the wrestling, despite whether or not I have to drink water or lie down.
I would say that I regretted not connecting with people. I have said that in previous years, that what I want to do is I want to go to Anime North and I want to meet people and I want to make new friends, because I'm very terrible at that. I'm very terrible at making casual acquaintances and maintaining those. And I wanted to do more of that. And usually the way that works is you meet up with people after the panel, between the 10-minute mark at the 50 minutes to the next hour, because that's when you're supposed to start vacating the panel. That didn't happen very much this year.
People ran right up to the minute, and that was consistent. There used to be times when people would come in and give them a warning, and they mentioned that might not be the case. But because of that, you've got people doing their panel right up to the end, delays the next panel, which delays the next one right up to the end. And so, unless you're going to hound these people, you don't really get a chance to chat with them or learn anything about them or connect with them. Because often what I would do is I would get some information, send them an email up after Anime North and be like, hey, it was really cool meeting you. Could I add you on LinkedIn? Or just, shoot you an email once in a while to ask you any questions, because I want to... And if you've got anything that I can help out with, just let me know and I'll help you out with it. Absolutely. And that didn't happen very much this year, so that's my big regret, not connecting with people. Got so close right before our panel. There was a person who was being the panelist for a steampunk costuming panel. Very beautiful little costume, full Victorian style dress. And I think the next thing I was going to ask them was what their name was, and maybe we should exchange contact information. And then I didn't do that, and then we went into the panel. So that's my biggest regret.
Yeah. All right. Personally, I don't have much in the way of regrets.
That's good.
I got what I wanted done. If there was something I wanted to do more, I don't feel like I wasted time, certainly. But if I wanted to do more of anything, it would have been more viewing, more random viewing. And
I enjoyed that this year a lot.
And we tried to fit it in there at the end, but of course we were worn down because we didn't get a lot of sleep. We set ourselves up for a bad start with that late Friday night, getting the first cast up.
We did it!
We've learned a lot since that time.
We're still not experts.
No, we're not experts, but we learned a lot about uploading videos to YouTube on hotel Wi-Fi.
As teammate,
that specific scenario, yes.
T, as you said in your own panel, it's great if you can get something perfect at the right time, but we learn by failing, right?
Yeah, we failed a lot this weekend.
Failed up.
We failed up, yeah. And I'm happy about that. I was about to say, there's one thing I do not regret, and it was trying to do this.
I'm really happy doing this.
This has been fun. A lot of fun.
I really enjoyed it. Do we want to announcement about what's coming up in the summer?
We have firm plans for the summer? Oh, you mean Unplugged?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that. So we're going to give another con a shot. We're not huge con people. We usually go to Anime North and maybe another one, or mostly just Anime North, to be completely honest. So this year we're going to give it another shot. We're going to go to another convention, actually just up the road from Anime North, Unplugged Expo.
Yep.
I think it's the 4th or 5th year that it's been running.
It started in 2012.
2012, so
this will be
fourth. The first one counts, so 4th.
Okay, yeah.
4th year running. We probably won't do a panel or anything like that, just by the nature of timing.
No. We'll see. It's only being 4 years running. It's a lot smaller than Anime North, but hopefully we get a chance to talk to a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be a general geeky convention, which I think probably plays more to our strengths.
Larger cross section of games, certainly video. I'd be excited to see if they do a lot of tabletop board and deck builders as well.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to giving that a shot. Maybe next year we'll try some other stuff, but that's all off on the horizon somewhere.
And as we do Unplugged, we will be doing con recaps.
Yeah,
just like Anime North.
Hopefully we'll have learned even more, and we can do a better job of those.
We'll have slick transitions and text on the screen.
Star Swipe.
So I suppose the only other thing to really say is details will be forthcoming.
That's right.
You guys will no doubt provide the dates on your Twitter account and through your podcasts.
Yep. I'm sure Goat will mention it quite a lot on his stream. If you happen to
try and shut me up.
If you happen to visit his stream, which is available down here.
Thank you.
In the info section.
Future Nick, remember to put stuff everywhere, because you will not remember.
Just talk and point, and you should remember all of it, right?
Yeah, sure, of course. I was gonna say, we're obviously gonna promote the crap out of going to Unplugged and doing this again. But I was gonna say, is there any plans that people have for, assuming we were to go to Anime North again? Are there plans people have for Anime North that they're actually going to follow this year? Or alternatively, are there just plans that people want to make? I thought that might be a nice way to tie it up for future stuff, and then maybe
I definitely want to do that panel.
Yep.
Next year, hopefully all of us can get on the panel. I'm looking forward to doing the recaps again. I don't know what else to say. I had a good time, just kind of going in almost blind. I don't have much association with anime aside from watching Pokemon Black and White recently.
I'm sorry.
Nothing. But I learned a lot. I enjoyed myself. I was very entertained the whole time. So I'm looking forward to diving in again.
Goat, what about you?
I'm always willing to go again. I've said it before, I love the atmosphere. I love the opportunity to kind of dip in to the mess that is that undulating crowd and try and pull out something new. But if you're talking specifically in terms of panels?
No, there was something you were talking about all weekend. I'm trying to remember what it was. There was something that you wanted to do next year. You kept building it up, but I can't remember
gaming?
What it was. Was gaming
more involved with the gaming?
Was it like a group or something?
Just trying to think now. Which might be touching on.
It might have been group costumes.
Oh, yes. I wouldn't mind giving a shot at a good group cost, because we talked about it for years, even in high school, and I personally never got involved. I think we did have a few half-ass attempts that never turned out.
We, our mind, if we want to do a group cosplay, our minds will probably change about 20 times between now and Anime North 2016, so... Details coming closer to the event.
Yes.
Details coming in 364 days.
Exactly. But I'd love to do that. That'd be great.
After seeing all the various panels about thermoplastic, I don't know if I'm actually going to do a group cosplay next year or any cosplay next year, but I really want to give it a shot.
Yeah, those you're armed with all this information now.
Yes, and information is a dangerous thing.
So just power.
So are swords.
We have somebody had to do it. It had to be said.
Z's not here, so somebody's
He
got to bring up
did.
swords.
He did say.
Mention
He
swords.
mentioned that there were not enough swords in Anime North this year. I guess he didn't.
So
I guess he didn't walk by the dealers in the dealer's room that
Swords
had
there.
giant walls
And all
of
the people
swords.
with the swords.
Everything is swords.
Z's favorite cosplay of... No, he mentioned it yesterday, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I know.
Of Urza from Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
Because it had the most swords.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring that up again because it was so hilarious the first time.
But do it for...
Yeah. We're going to cut it a little short today, guys. We're all, quite frankly, pretty exhausted.
We
wanted to get this out for you guys.
Hope you've been enjoying the other two. Hope you'll enjoy this one. And I hope we'll see you at the next con round.
I'm gonna go ahead and just take the liberty of saying I'm sure you wonderful gentlemen would have no problem if anybody has any questions about the progression of the con over the weekend, any of the events or anything at all.
If you want to ask us about the, do you mean like the panel?
Just questions in general, and about Anime North. Maybe somebody is watching from our part of Ontario and who wants to get involved, and maybe never has been.
Yeah, or if you have questions about the panel, we did talk about how to get started as a lazy fan, as lazy fans. One thing, and I think to actually wrap this up, because we didn't mention it at all, is Goat. Really, thank you for helping us out this weekend.
We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on. This has been a lot of fun.
I mean like for everything.
Yeah.
I mean doing this is great, but like everything. Thank you for everything this weekend.
Oh God!
Never stop giving this man love. He is the MVP of the weekend. We love him.
Yeah.
See what you're missing, Z.
Please visit his stream, which T will generously put.
I'll put it in.
The notes.
I have been putting it down below.
And yeah, give him your love. You stream most days, is it?
Most days. I'm usually streaming, and I'm a shift worker, so a daily schedule is not possible, but I either stream afternoons between 12 and 3 Eastern Standard Time, or 8 o'clock and 12 o'clock, and there's always given to be variances of a half hour to an hour on either side, depending on the day. But best way to find me and find out would be to follow me on Twitter, I'd say.
I may or may not put that.
If you know how to spell my screen name, you can find me on Twitter.
That's quite a task, though.
Yes.
I've gotten to remembering.
THEGOATVVH0R3.
Putting my NT3R to shame.
Oh. And now.
And we should wrap this up, though.
All right. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We will talk to you next time.
Yeah, next time. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.